Geico could help you save on homeowners and renters insurance.
Pushing your forecast even further with Emmy award-winning reporting.
This is the lowest level that you should be in.
You're watching America's most trusted TV news network.
I'm meteorologist Jeff Mark, keeping you updated on a very serious situation right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Tornado reported on the ground and doing damage right now north of downtown Dallas. They're northern Dallas County right now under the tornado warning until the bottom of the hour. This is the cell. I'm going to go ahead and circle it right here. This is the little appendages, if you will. This is the main storm up to the north. But again, this is the hook echo, if you will, what we call an inflow notch, where you have the air come rushing in, and right where this little area is right here, that is where the tornado is. In fact, this little ball right here, potentially a damage signature, if you will, or debris being thrown up into the air. Let's take a look at where this is going to be headed. At its present rate of speed, probably moving through the Adelia area at about 9:21, then down to Garland at about 9:30, Zaca Junction at about 9:26, and all the way over to Rolette a little bit later at 9:38 if it continues on this track. Again, this would take it north of the Dallas area, just north of Highland Park. Let's see where it is. And this is an extremely well-defined tornado signature here, or what we call couplet, with the air kind of rotating right around this. And where you see this bright yellow here, this would be where the debris ball is, or where debris, whatever it may be, whether it be trees or structures being thrown up into the air, and then the radar obviously sees that, and the radar beam bounces off of it and gives a very pronounced signature, which would be this yellow that you're looking at right here. But this is a very serious situation. Again, this moving off toward the east. In fact, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit more so you can get an idea where we are. This is just south of 635. If you will, crossing over 289 right now and headed over toward this 75 corridor, if you will, south of 635. This is all generally headed off toward the east. Again, just north of University Park, on the northern side here of University Park, and generally headed off toward the east. It's not going to head into the downtown Dallas area, but just north of there, and generally skirting over around the Love Field vicinity. There's a lot of hail being indicated here. That's all this bright purple that you see here as well. I'm going to zoom out a little bit now and show you that this is just part and parcel of a huge area of thunderstorms which has erupted across parts of Oklahoma, and the supercell thunderstorms, these lone thunderstorms down here around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and another one over here by the Shreveport and Bossier City area also has a tornado warning with it. That's been long-lived. It's crossed all the way from northeast Texas up towards Shreveport right now. The local Weather Service office there, the folks there at the Weather Service had to take cover because the tornado signature was headed right toward their office and right over the radar site. As a matter of fact, I don't think we were even getting any radar indications there around Shreveport right now. I'll double check on that. But this entire zone, there are 2 tornado watches. I'm outlining this first one. This is out until 2 a.m. in the morning. And then, of course, you have another one off to the north, which includes all of southeast Oklahoma, parts of northwest Arkansas, and that is out until 3 a.m. So into the wee hours of the morning across parts of eastern, southeastern Oklahoma, northeast Texas, we're going to be dealing with this severe weather. Now, as we head through the overnight hours, the severe weather threat may actually extend south and east of where it is right now. That's because as a very strong cold front, which I'm outlining here, moves through this area, through Oklahoma, through northern Texas, and this colder air comes slamming into this very warm and unstable air, which is out ahead of it, then you get this big squall line starting to develop as we head past the midnight hour and into the wee hours of the morning, and this whole squall line will then progress east. When I say squall line, what I'm talking about is a big line of thunderstorms. They all kind of line up together here, and we'll transition from this tornado threat that we're getting with these individual thunderstorms like we're seeing in Dallas and over towards Shreveport into more of a long very strong straight line wind damage with some of these storms kind of blowing out ahead of them here in what we call a gust front. That'll push through the Little Rock and Shreveport areas as we head toward 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then continue off to the east. Looks like it'll weaken by that time. But again, the worst of it, and what I'm going to do is go back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area because I want to keep you updated on what we're seeing there right now. All right. It's crossing 75 at the present time. Again, this is the broad view. I wanted to show you this because I want to show you, here's downtown Dallas. Now, you're getting rain, you're getting some thunder and lightning in the city itself, but it's up here to the north, around the just northeast of the University Park area, again, where you see this hook, if you will, in the radar signature. And again, I'm just kind of pushing this off to the east to show you some of the towns that may be affected. Adelia, in fact, what I'm going to do, since this is moving so quickly, I'm going to go ahead and take that off and redraw it and see if we can get more of an idea of where this may be going. All right, here we go. And okay, so Bethard at about 9:23, 9:30 Garland, then down to Rockwall at 9:50. Some of the towns that may be affected by this tornado as it continues to move off to the east. Still an extremely well-defined rotation signature there, northeast of University Park. Again, crossing over 75 right now and headed over towards 635. Let's get in here even a little bit closer, and so you can see where it is. And I'm going to push the whole. Again, we're doing this on the fly here as this is all developing. There it is, and moving generally over towards 635 at the present time. So again, it's this area right here, and this is just northeast of downtown Dallas. Won't be affecting the city itself. Has just moved northeast of University Park. Just getting reports of some power lines and some trees down in Midlothian. So again, this is all generally moving off toward the east. It's about to cross 635 over a very busy interstate here as we head past the 10 o'clock, actually the 9 o'clock hour here, Central Time. So we'll keep you updated as we head through the evening hours. Let's zoom out here just a little bit. There's the hail that's indicated with it. And again, this is all part and parcel. These are the supercell thunderstorms around Dallas. I mentioned the ones around Shreveport. There are other non-tornadic storms right now up across Oklahoma. This is all going to congeal into one big long squall line or line of thunderstorms as we head through the overnight hour. But the immediate threat right now is in Dallas County, northeast of downtown Dallas, near the Midlothian area. We've had reports of some damage. We'll keep you updated as we head through the evening hours. And of course, these cells over around Shreveport and Bossier City, we'll keep you updated on those as well. Earlier, a tornado was confirmed here in northeastern and parts of Texas and Panola County, and some tree damage and some large hail reported with that. So again, the worst of it around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, but other areas will be affected as we head through the overnight hours. We'll keep you updated right here on the Weather Channel. I'm meteorologist Jeff Morrow here at the Weather Channel, breaking into the regular programming. Very serious situation there north side of Dallas, now northeast of downtown Dallas. A tornado warning, in fact, a confirmed tornado has touched down there. Some reports of some debris and some damage along parts of the interstate, not that far away from University Park, now moving over toward the Garland area. That's not the only tornado warning in the Metroplex, but let's start off with that one. Dallas County under a tornado warning until 9:30. Again, the possible tornado right here just to the west of the Garland vicinity right now. And just north of that, a brand new tornado warning for Collin and northern Dallas counties. This includes Garland, Richardson, and Wiley. This is out until the top of the hour. Again, this potential tornado, and I think they're talking about the same one here, would be right in this area at the bottom of your screen. I circled there. That is where the rotation is. Now, from where it is right now, moving over toward the Garland area very, very shortly here, probably within the next couple of minutes. Then Rowlett at 9:37, Rockwell at 9:49, Mobile City at 9:54, and if it continues on its general track over toward the town of Fate toward the top of the hour. All right. This is where the rotation is. This is where we have a damage signature. In other words, some debris is being thrown up into the air. We have confirmations of that. It has now crossed over 635, generally moving just to the northwest of the Garland vicinity and generally headed off toward the northeast here at a pretty good clip right now. Here's a little bit of a closer inspection. It's very near the community of Richardson right now, just south of there. This is where the rotation is and moving gently off toward the east. So between Richardson and the Garland vicinity, that is where this tornado is moving at the present time. Again, there has been some damage reported as it crossed over 635, the interstate, and now headed gently over toward 190. And eventually on the top part of your screen here, I believe that's pronounced Sachs or Sachez. I'm not quite sure the pronunciation, but that's another town that is in the potential path. Another tornado warning on the south side of Dallas, southern Dallas County, Ellis County, including Glen Heights, Lancaster, and Red Oak. This is out until 10. And I didn't want to, and there's the rotation near the Red Oak vicinity. And if we move even farther east, again, over toward Bossier City in Louisiana, Caddo and Webster parishes near Shreveport, a tornado warning there till 9 o'clock, okay? I'm Weather Channel meteorologist Jeff Morrow, keeping you updated on a very serious situation here just outside the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Tornado has been confirmed. It has touched down on the north side of Dallas, not in the city itself, but just north of there up toward University Park, now moving right over the Garland, Texas vicinity. Tornado sirens currently going off in Garland at the present time. Again, there has been some damage reported even along Interstate 635 as this tornado has crossed over 635. It's moving fairly rapidly. There you can see a new sweep of the radar. It's moving past the Garland vicinity at the present time. Collin and Dallas counties, including Garland, Richardson, Wiley, all under tornado warning here until the top of the hour. Again, as we plot this out, on its present path, looks like it would be heading over toward Liberty Grove at about 9:44. That's, in a little over 10 minutes from right now. The town of Fate at 10:01 and 10:07, Roy City, and by 10:13 over toward the Josephine vicinity, moving away from Dallas and Fort Worth. But again, some damage has been reported. This is still an extremely well-defined tornado signature, rotation signature here on the Doppler radar. The greens indicating the wind coming from this direction, the reds from the other direction, and where they come together here, that is where we're talking about the tornado. There's a closer look at what we're talking about. Still a bit of a debris signature. When I say that, I mean that is debris being thrown up into the air by the tornado. That larger debris, of course, shows up on the radar return much stronger than a raindrop or anything else. So that's why we're getting such a strong return, although it's not quite as strong as it was about 15 to 20 minutes ago. Moving just to the north of the Garland vicinity, here's Garland. Again, the tornado sirens are going off there right now. Generally headed toward the east-northeast. Watch out in the town of Wiley up here. And also, and I'm going to move this on the fly just a little bit here. Let's see if I can get this to move. Rockwall is also a town that, will, although it looks like it may pass just to the north, and also Nevada up here in the northeast part of your screen. So those are the areas that would most likely be affected right now. This is where the tornado signature is. This is where it potentially will be moving. Just north of Garland, maybe near the Wiley vicinity, just north of Rockwall and just south of the Nevada vicinity, and maybe crossing over 205. Crossing over 78 here very, very shortly. And as I mentioned, there was debris and some damage being indicated as the tornado crossed over. Now, we're not talking about a Doppler radar tornado indicated. This has been sighted, has been doing some damage on the north side of Dallas. That's not the only tornado warning in the Metroplex. On the south side, southern Dallas County, Ellis County, also under tornado warning. This includes the cities of Ferris, Red Oak, and Wilmer. Right now, the signature is right over Red Oak. You can see a very well-defined, what we call hook, if you will, right here. This is called an inflow notch. So right here is where the potential tornado is. This would also be moving off to the east-northeast rather quickly, maybe just south of the Wilmer area. And there is the signature, not as well defined as the one we're looking at north of Dallas up toward the Garland vicinity, but nonetheless, some rotation being indicated right in this area near Red Oak and generally moving off to the east. Looks like it may pass just south of the town of Wilmer. And that's not the only tornado warning. We've been following a very long-lived supercell thunderstorm that came out of northeast Texas, Panola County, right over the radar site here at Shreveport, has now moved east of Shreveport and Bossier City, moving past Eastwood, although it does appear to have weakened a bit, not seeing the rotation there quite as strong as what we saw earlier. This is all part and parcel of a much larger severe weather area. We've got a lot of storms with a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, no tornado warnings right now across parts of east central Oklahoma, generally just east of Oklahoma City up through Tulsa and all the way on down almost to the Red River. But more will be developing as we head through the overnight hours. A couple of tornado watches in effect. I'm going to outline this first one here. This is out. It actually includes parts of southwest Arkansas until 2 a.m. That, of course, includes the Dallas area and Shreveport. And then here is the other watch right here. This includes most of southeast Oklahoma and northwest parts of Arkansas. That is out until 3 a.m. So this area blanketed with tornado watches as we head into the wee hours of the morning. And eventually, this is going to extend down into central Texas and all the way up across Arkansas, maybe even into Missouri, as these supercell thunderstorms like the ones we're seeing near Dallas and over through the Shreveport area. This all kind of congeals or lines up into what we call a squall line, or a line of intense severe thunderstorms ahead of a cold front sweeping east. And the threat will probably transition from a tornado threat with these supercell thunderstorms, the individual storms like we're seeing in Dallas, to more of a squall line or a hill line of storms, and you'll get more of a what we call straight line wind damage. Still very strong winds, and that can really do a lot of tree damage and blow things around. But again, probably not as much as a tornado threat. We just got word, by the way, that around the Wiley vicinity, there is sirens going off. And I'm going to go back to that radar because I want to keep you updated on what is going on here around the Dallas area. Again, here's the tornado. This is the large area, and I wanted to show you down in the bottom left-hand part of your screen, there's Dallas itself, so you can get yourself geographically oriented. And then from where it is now, where it will be moving as we head through the next probably half hour or so. Here is where the tornado signature is, just to the north of the Garland vicinity at the present time. Right in through here. Tornado sirens going off in Wiley from what we just heard, and they have been going off in Garland, so it looks like this potential tornado may split the difference here between those two suburbs of the Dallas area, outlying areas, and continue to move to the east. One thing I do want to mention, this looks a little bit less pronounced than what it did say about 10 or 15 minutes ago. That may be an indication it could be weakening. But right now, everybody needs to take shelter there near the towns of Garland, Wiley, and everywhere in the northeast Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Of course, we'll keep you updated here on the Weather Channel as we head through the rest of this evening into the wee hours of the morning.
Mark will need a delicate touch.
Hey.
Both up.
I'm Weather Channel meteorologist Jeff Morrow, and we have confirmed damage north of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex right now. We have reports of home damage, maybe even homes taken off their foundations in the Preston Hollow vicinity, and also some power lines down across the road at US 75 and Royal. That's just some of the preliminary damage reports coming in. Earlier, we had reports of some damage on 635 as the tornado crossed over that interstate here a little bit earlier. All right, let's show you where it is right now. And this storm is going a bit of a transformation, it looks like to me, with the original area of where the tornado was up here is maybe starting to move over toward this new appendage, which is dropping down here well east of the Garland vicinity. We'll take a look at that on our velocity in a moment. Just want to tell everybody that northern Dallas County and Collin County still under a tornado warning, although it looks like this storm may be moving just about ready to move out of the northeast parts of Dallas County. From where it is now, though, moving over toward the Royce City area just after the top of the hour here within the next 15, 20 minutes. 10:12 over toward Josephine, Caddo Mills at about 10:20 and 10:36 all the way over to Greenville. This is what it looks like right now. Now, the original circulation with this tornado was back here, but it looks like we may be getting a new rotation here just to the east. So sometimes these supercell thunderstorms go through these cycles where maybe the first one kind of gets wrapped up and then starts to dissipate, but a new one starts to develop on the southeast flank of that, and that may be what's happening here. So we're definitely not out of the wood. This is a very, very potent supercell thunderstorm. Again, this is where the original rotation was back off toward the northwest, but here looks like a new one may be developing. They're both moving in tandem off toward the northeast. Earlier, we had reports that the tornado sirens were going off in Wiley. Earlier, they went off in Garland. This is getting very near the Rockwall area on the north side of Rockwall. So take cover if you're in any of these areas. Wiley, Rockwall, over toward Nevada and Royce City. This storm will be moving over toward your area before too long, crossing over Route 205 and just south of the 78 area on the south side of Wiley. Looks like some of the worst of the winds or the potential damage. Again, this is where the rotation is, the main rotation, and it is generally moving off toward the east, northeast at a pretty good clip. I wish that were the only tornado warning we have, but it isn't. On the south side of Dallas, another hook echo, if you will, right here. Here's what we call the inflow notch. A lot of technical terms, and that is where we think the possible tornado is. Not sighted yet with this one. However, Dallas, southern Dallas and Ellis counties, including the towns of Ferris and Wilmer, are under tornado warnings until the top of the hour. This, too, is moving off toward the east-northeast. It looks like it is moving east of the Wilmer area. Earlier, it was around the Red Oak vicinity. This is all part and parcel of a huge area, and we're getting a new tornado warning just as I'm showing you this right now. So what I'm going to do is, as I have been doing, calling a bit of an audible here because I want to get in where this tornado warning is. This is in Oklahoma. This is for Cleveland, McLean, and Pottawatomie counties, including the towns of Asher, St. Louis, and Gwinnett. Again, these storms are rocketing off to the northeast between 50 and 60 miles an hour. So again, this is something you have to watch extremely closely. Again, we'll circle the area right in here where there is a potential tornado, but this is moving very quickly over toward the Maud vicinity, and Kanawha, I believe is how you pronounce that. So in between those two towns looks like the worst of this storm, but this is all part of a very, very large squall line. I'm going to zoom back out here in just a moment and show you where the watches are. There are two tornado watches, this one out until 2 a.m. This looks like it's all one big watch, but it's actually two separate tornado watches north of the Red River, southeast Oklahoma, parts of northwest Arkansas, another tornado watch out until 3 a.m. So this threat will continue not only for the rest of this evening, but right on into the wee hours of the morning as this whole area starts to congeal, if you will, into one big what we call squall line. So right now we have these supercell thunderstorms which have developed near Dallas and Fort Worth, earlier around the Shreveport vicinity, and we're starting to get a few up here in parts of Oklahoma. But you can see there are more developing all the way up here into parts of Kansas and eventually farther west. This is all ahead of a cold front pushing southeast, and notice how the storms all kind of merge together, if you will, and it becomes one very long, very powerful, what we call squall line or line of severe thunderstorms. And this is where you can get the very strong, what we call straight line wind damage. And the tornado threat will probably lessen. It won't completely go away. We can't rule out a spin up along a line like this, but mostly it would be what we call gust fronts. And that will continue to move through Little Rock and Shreveport and points east as we head into the morning hours on your Monday. Very serious situation in and around Dallas, north and south of town. We'll keep you updated on that as we head on through the rest of this evening.
The recipe for disaster.
I'd like to get this thing rolled over, Herb. You're good to go, Mark.
I'm meteorologist Jeff Morrow, keeping you updated on a very serious situation on the north side of Dallas. Confirmed reports of damage, some homes being potentially ripped off their foundations, maybe a building collapse here. Unconfirmed right now. This is unconfirmed, but injuries reported in the Marsh, Walnut Hill area, potentially a building collapse there. The fire and rescue people around the Love Field vicinity saying there's debris everywhere in that Marsh and Walnut Hill vicinity. Power lines being down as well. Some home damage earlier being reported in Preston Hollow. So this is a very serious situation, again, occurring a little bit on the rare side, perhaps in October, but not unheard of. Right now, the storm that caused this damage, and again, the damage that I'm talking about is right in this vicinity, north of Dallas here, between there and 635. Tornado basically crossed there. That storm is now all the way up toward the Royce City vicinity. Still a tornado warning out for the next few minutes until the top of the hour here. In fact, it's set to go out in about 2 minutes right now. This storm, or at least where the rotation is, could be moving over toward the Josephine, Caddo Mills, Greenville, and Lone Oak area if the rotation holds together. Right now, there's still some rotation indicated, not that far away from Royce City, but no reports that there is some damage with this area right now as it continues to move off toward the northeast rather quickly. There is another tornado warm storm on the south side of Dallas. This is down toward Ellis County and extreme southern Dallas County, east of the Wilmer area. Again, this is a little bit of a hook echo being indicated right here. Let's take a look at the velocity. There is some broad rotation in this area. Doesn't look quite as pronounced as what it did earlier. And there is also a tornado warning as we head a little bit farther north. This is southeast of Oklahoma City. Let's get in there a little bit closer. Tornado warnings right around Oklahoma, or I should say severe thunderstorm warnings near Oklahoma City. But Pottawatomie County is under a tornado warning at the present time. Again, this is all part and parcel of a very large area of thunderstorms ahead of a sharp cold front moving toward the southeast. But the worst of it appears to be around Dallas and Fort Worth. We'll keep you updated.
Herb was definitely thinking outside the box today. Opened up a trailer like a can of tuna and dumped the contents out. A little bit unorthodox.